Well, attention is so important because people are so good at ignoring advertising. Just because an ad is viewable doesn't mean that anyone will actually look at it. People have this amazing ability just simply not to look at things that are staring them in the face. And so attention technologies have become, available and necessary because we really want to understand, is anyone actually looking at or engaging with our ads?
And is it the only thing that matters? Attention?
Attention is a vital ingredient in how advertising works. I mean, advertising, there's a clue in the name, advertary, turn towards. That's what advertising is. Getting attention is the start, but it isn't the end of things. No one advertises simply to get attention. You advertise to change the world, to sell more stuff, to change opinions. It's all about money, or it's about memories. Attention is a means to that end. And so when we're measuring attention and then building our probabilistic models, we always have that end in mind. How is this going to help advertisers make more money or create better memories for their brands?
And what are some of the challenges of measuring attention? Like, how do you know that I didn't just stand up and go to the refrigerator during a commercial break? Like, how do you know I paid attention to an ad or not?
Well, we collect attention data using video cameras, through the webcam. This webcam here on your computer or on your phone, we put webcams on top of people's TVs. We collect behavioral data, what it is that people could see and what it is that do in fact look at across all of these screens. So for us, it's really, really important to make sure that you're collecting actual data. But big as our panels are and enormous as our data sets are, we couldn't possibly hope to collect data on every single person across the United States and all the ads that they could see and do see. Instead, we take the data from those panels and turn it into predictive models. Both things have challenges. One is, are we sure that the cameras are always on or cameras working? Are people, just because they're looking at the screen, just because they're looking at the ad, are they taking it in? These are important challenges for us to overcome. But also, it's very important to overcome the challenges of probabilistic modeling. So we create these predictive models of attention. How can we be sure that they're actually meaningful? So we work very, very hard to try and link our predictions of attention to actual outcomes in the market, clicks and conversions and sales.
And when you're speaking with advertisers or people at agencies, are there any misconceptions about measuring attention that you find that you have to address or demystify for people?
Well, one of the things is that, frankly, attention's a bit weird. I mean, am I being spied on? This webcam stuff. Are you spying on me right now? Well, the answer, of course, is no. We're not doing that. We have panels of people and we pay them money and we get fully consented data from them. And it has to be GDPR compliant, CCPA compliant. Privacy is tremendously important to us. That's the first misconception that people sometimes have about us. And then the second one is, how big are these panels, and are they big enough to capture every single ad across the states or in Canada or Indonesia or wherever? And of course, the answer is no. What we do is we use the data from the panels to create these probabilistic models. It's the models that help us understand whether or not half of your campaign is being noticed and which half is getting attended to. That's an important thing to get people's heads around, that it's a probabilistic model that's predicting how likely people are to look at it at an ad campaign.
Well, that's really interesting. So, have there been any interesting learnings about attention that you've seen? Anything that surprised you, perhaps?
Well, there are a couple of quite interesting things that keep on coming up again and again. One is just how short attention spans are when it comes to ads. I used to work in advertising. I used to make ads for cat food, And I was pretty interested in cat food when I was doing that, weirdly interested in it. Turns out I really am weird because I would watch these things right the way through, mainly because I was making the ads, I suppose. Other people, they've got less skin in the game when it comes to cat food advertising. People, they do look at ads, but they don't necessarily look at them in the same way that marketers look at them, where people are very distracted when they're looking at ads. If they notice them at all, they'll perhaps glance at them and then move on. That's quite a big implication for the amount of detail or sophistication of an argument you can put in an ad. The second thing is about differences about the media themselves. Some ads, some media are very good at generating lots and lots of attention, and others, the average dwell time with ads is much, much shorter. We tend to think that all ads are equal, that an impression in one medium is worth the same as an impression in another. Not so. And then even within the medium, there's some big learnings. And I found when buying digital advertising, everybody wants to be above the fold. You want your ads at the top of the screen so that they're there as soon as someone enters the page. In actual fact, those are exactly the ads that are most easy to ignore. In actual fact, there's sort of gold beneath the fold. You want people to be scrolling down the page, and as they get down the page and within the article, the bit that they're really interested in, that's where you want to put the ad. Now, sometimes those ads within the article are not immediately viewable, but they're the ones that get the attention. And so there's, like I said, there's this tension with viewability. If you go for 100% viewability, you might not be getting 100% attention. There is gold beneath the fold.
Well, that's really interesting. Are there any other tips that you have about these matters with attention? And perhaps you could just tell us what you think is next. What should people expect ahead?
Well, there's tons of tips about how to optimize your buying, and that's our stock in trade. I'd be very happy to go and talk to your viewers about any of that. My one of the big one is about buying size, buying ads that are big enough to be noticed. Loads and loads of tiny little banner ads, especially the ones on mobile, are tiny and small, and therefore 100% viewable. They're there. It's just they're so small that while they're viewable, they're never viewed. So again, going for high viewability formats doesn't always guarantee that you're getting high attention levels. But I think there's an astonishing moment of democratization just around the corner. Lumen has been making these predictive models of attention for quite some time now and been working with clients around the world. But lots of our clients have said, can you not work with some of the big boys as well? Interesting as Lumen is, can you not work for companies like IAS, for instance, Integral Ad Science? So we're very interested and very excited about our partnership with IAS to give IAS customers access to Lumen attention predictions. And that will radically democratize this sort of data. And we're very excited about that. But we're also very excited about sort of the next steps for the media that we're being covered and for the types of insights that we can give people. We're doing lots and lots of work with Anzu, the gaming company, to understand attention to ads inside games on your mobile phone or console or desktop computer. Those 3D environments, as you're driving around the countryside or whatever, they provide loads of opportunities to advertise. No one is measuring that. And so we're doing an awful lot of work about in-game advertising as well as sort of more traditional paid-for opportunities. And then finally, I think that the prospect of understanding the creative drivers of attention and how that links to increased sales and increased memories as well. We're very good at predicting what's inside the box. What's not inside the box. The box that the ad is showing you on the screen. The actual ad unit. That's very exciting, I'm sure. But we're also even more excited about understanding what's inside the box, the actual creative itself. And I think the recent developments in AI, things like Midjourney and OpenAI, offer a really exciting opportunity to combine attention data with artificial intelligence to really understand the creative drivers of attention to advertising.